So one thing that was a big unlock for me as a player was getting to Major League Spring Training, to where you get to see guys kind of roll over balls, make some errors, hit some pop-ups, and today we've got Luken Baker.
That ball is hammered to left field by Luken Baker, and gone!
Donnie Walton here.
And Walton, it's out, triples alley. On the move is Peralta, still on the move. He's not going to get it, and guess what, folks? It is out of here! First home run of the year.
Luken, is there anything that you're working on today? Anything a focus of this offseason?
Well, something that we've been working on is getting more force into the baseball, which I know the more that I try to hit the ball hard, the less I usually do, but being able to stay in my legs and use the ground instead of falling forwards or backwards is really what I've been working on this off season, and that's what we're working on today.
And you just said the less that you try, the harder you hit the ball typically?
Yeah, usually.
That's gonna be a theme, because that's something that's been big for you too as well, right?
Yeah, being more fluid, being loose, working on getting in a better landing position, but not being tight and just kind of let the bat do its thing.
So this can be Luken's first time to ever do the water bag, and so right off the bat, I'm curious, like, you're a big guy. You just talked about when you try less, you end up hitting the ball harder. Like, where do you feel like your power comes from if you were to pinpoint somewhere in your body?
I always feel like it comes from my legs and my hands. Like whenever I stay in my legs and pop my hands on the baseball, you know, your big muscles in your arms are usually the enemy. That's whenever, like Donnie was saying, you get tight, you get tense, and you don't really have a good fluid swing.
Yeah.
So I feel like in these water bags, I'm just gonna try to stay in my legs and see how hard I can throw this thing.
Okay, I love it. Then maybe we'll just let you have at it, and then I'm gonna ask you some questions and see how you feel after.
I feel it better when I take my legs out of it, because my tendency is to throw this back leg and then everything kind of works up and it's not like going through. So I took the legs out of it. The first thing we did to get loose is kind of just take a step and then go.
He's dialed. You're gonna be locked in.
So the recoil.
You're gripping it well. The big thing with the water bag is as you go forward, like, just think about if I stay square to these lines and there's no coil, like all my direction energy is going foul ball at third base, right? So as you go forward, you can feel that there's that counter move going, and you can feel your direction through the middle.
Right.
I mean, you're already doing a great job, but you've got more coil in there if you want it.
Right.
My whole thing, I do it better right-handed because it's like my throwing side, so I go, like it's easier for me to get that counter rotation. Here at lefty, it's like I gotta watch for it.
I don't get a pre-rotation left-handed. I stink
Do
at
that
left-handed.
again, that was money. Like, you moved really well.
Yeah.
The one thing that they showed us at 108 was really cool. Like, if you were to throw a punch, because every younger kid, they think about drive this and their power comes from their legs. Like, that's what we've kind of been taught. If you're gonna throw a punch just with your lower half, you're automatically disconnected and this goes nowhere. Which is what you see with these kids' swings. But if you're gonna throw a punch, it's something up top that is coming and bringing that.
Right.
And so that's exactly what you're already doing with the water bag. Like, you want to hear that water out here because you are rotating, everything is starting chest up.
Right. Power in my legs, I feel like, comes from me being in the ground. Not necessarily like you don't throw
Everybody gets
like that. But if I'm floating up above the ground and I take the step and I'm coiling and falling and I'm not in the ground, but if I'm in the ground in my legs, not necessarily squatted down into them, but if I'm, in my legs, that's whenever it just feels like I stay over myself.
So let Donnie go, and then we're going to tell a little story about what happened last week. Donnie last week did that. We did it for 10 seconds, and it was fast, and you could tell it was strong, but he was using his muscles, and it was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Blaker at 108 said, hey, why don't you, instead of using your muscles, like, you were out of breath, tired.
Yeah,
right?
tired, exhausted.
And so what did he tell you to do?
He was just like, feel your skin. And I was like, what is he talking about? Feel your skin. But like,
Day one?
I like took a second and I was like, all right, he wants me to just kind of like feel loose, kind of like just feel out of body. And then when I went, it was just 10 times faster, and then I was not tired at all.
Like that was the loose and fast?
Yeah.
So, okay.
And before
that,
I was
dude,
like,
it was, well, so
I was like bracing my abs.
You could tell, dude, his face was all red, and then it was like, oh my God. So now he's taking that and just swinging.
So you're pretty much letting the water in the bag work for you?
Dude, you tapped into it right there. Now,
Which I wouldn't have thought to do it like that if you didn't just say it.
Yeah. But at first I was like bracing, and then I was like, yeah. And see how slow it goes. Yeah.
And you know what? When you started to get off balance, and it looked like you kind of like gave into it and went a little easier, and all of a sudden your balance came back. Okay, we'll tell you what. Let's do some reactions. We'll all clap. So you can go like boxes in and out, and then I'm gonna clap. You land and rip it, and we'll do like 10 seconds worth.
Okay.
So y'all go ahead and go. Go. Nice, Luke.
Oh, more.
Go. Go. And if I say go, go, you go twice. Go, go. Dude, stop. Nice job. That was like 14 seconds. What you did in the weight room like prepared you for now, like what you're about to do in the cage?
Yes.
Okay, how so? Like what specific exercises do you really like that feels like gets you dialed to hit?
I think it's less the exercises and more just moving. Obviously, like I know we hit lower today. You said you hit everything. It's not like I'm feeling super fresh. I just feel like when I get my body going, when you play a baseball game, you go through BP, defense, probably have a lift that day. You're doing a bunch of stuff anyways. I just feel like that's when my body's at its best.
Yeah. Like times I look at my best years, if I ran my best, it's been my best years. Like the ground force, ground contact.
That's never been my case.
Really?
Yeah. I don't run fast.
Well, and I'm not fast.
I don't run best either. You're different. If I'm hitting a ground ball into the infield and they're catching it, obviously you don't want to just sit there and lollygag, but my job isn't to beat out an infield single that I'm never going to beat out.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, so what drill are you doing and why are you doing it?
The fungo drill is also another thing to help me just keep loose. One of the things that I struggle with is kind of like hanging back when I land, got too much weight on the back leg. So this helps me kind of get on the front leg, try to just hit a nice backspin line drive and working that bottom hand through it.
He did what?
Damn! Dude, the long cage is awesome.
That'll make you feel good about yourself, that's for sure.
I think it also gets a little separation. We try to like force it, or else I've tried, and this allows it just to work on its own.
And you got that flow, it's so nice.
So pretty much the two things that I've done for the last 2 years. So I made a swing adjustment a couple years ago. I moved my hands away from my body to create space. It felt great. Two of the things that I felt immediately when I did it, whenever I did stuff wrong, where I would, because my hands were out, I would cut straight across the baseball or just like, I don't know, maybe feel like I was up out of my legs like I was talking about earlier. And so I would, essentially the two things I would do are drift and pull across. And so the two drills that I sort of just came up with, I didn't have anyone show me. I'm sure a bunch of people have done them before. The first one, I just start open so that I have to get into the ground. And so I can immediately feel everything in my body's pulling me this way. So I really have to focus on not cutting across the ball. And then the second one I do is just a step back, pretty much the same reasons. Don't drift. That's just the easier way for me to really feel if I'm going forward. And then now I've added the happy go more.
Let's go.
Shuffle forward for the same reasons, but also to not, because I've spent so much time staying back. I get stuck back there. So then I add that one just to not get stuck in the back.
Do it. Instead of you kind of feeling like in the misses
Just
up here.
Just right here?
Yeah, just feel like if you were a little kid doing this drill, like 8 years old, what would it look? You don't have muscles yet.
Right.
What would you tap into there?
It's just kind of the wiffle ball feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, that's good.
Those two feel any different?
A little bit, probably because I was just focused less on everything except for hitting the ball.
Hey, isn't that funny? Yeah. Preach to all the kids out there.
Focus less.
Yeah. These balls are whacked.
When you said you put your arms out, that helped you get loose?
That helped me create space.
Create space.
So just what helps me stay loose is just thinking stay loose
Gotcha.
and not tensing up. Whenever I'm not feeling good, 2 strikes, whatever. That's a good one.
So Donnie, you starting your hands further back today?
Yeah, let's do the Mark McGuire.
Nice. Do it, Donnie. And this just helps you feel that separation, something about having something forward and coming back.
Yeah, I've always been up here, kind of thinking down towards the ball. But sometimes when I get my hands up here, everything gets tight. I want them to feel as loose as possible, feel my skin. I want them to kind of just float back. This kind of helps my shoulders and my hands and everything just relax. And then I just swing it up to also get the separation, but laying in a good spot.
Tough pitch, dude. Nice swing.
We'll do golf grips. This one, what do you know, but for everybody out there, I tend to like get in steep and then get flat. And some of the great hitters, you can see them when they land, it kind of gets by their shoulder and then coming in a little bit flatter. Doing like a golf grip, interlock, or the pinky up, or even the Bobby Abreu, where, you know, he puts 2 fingers up there. But this just helps me kind of like feel that when I land and I go, that they're kind of getting by my shoulder first in a better slot. So when I rotate, I'm on playing for longer. We'll go interlock first.
Luken, can you talk a little bit about playing with Goldschmidt and Arenado?
I mean, getting to play with those guys was pretty awesome. It's like you were talking about earlier, you get to see how those guys work every day. I don't know if I've ever been around 2 harder workers. They know exactly what they're doing every day. They know exactly what they're trying to feel. They've felt it however many years that they've been the best hitters in the big leagues.
Donnie.
It's really cool to watch them go through their process, and then, you know, you get to pick their brains a little bit about what they're feeling or what their goal is. Especially cool because they're 2 completely different swings. Arenado is, like we were talking about earlier, hit the ball out, like how far you can get out front. He's the best pull hitter I've seen in my entire. He can hit the ball so hard, so well to left every time. And Goldschmidt is, you know, he gets here in 2 totally different swings, and they're both elite.
I have a question about Arenado. Nice, Donnie. He's got his feet moving in the box. And for me, like tennis background, I always felt a little naked just having my feet still. And so when Arenado's in the cage and doing his work, like, is he constantly like dancing? Does he do some stuff flat-footed?
Every swing. He's, you know, he tries, flips, machine, you know, he's right here, takes a swing, looks at the video, likes it, doesn't like it, you know, maybe he gives a feel or something, and he just picks the bat up and he's right here every time.
He's always moving. We talk about the journey of baseball. Like, what along your journey have been kind of some unlocks along the way that you feel like if you could share with your younger self and anybody else who watches, like, what are some things that come to mind?
I was always that top hand, bottom leg guy, right? My non-dominant. And so I felt like I had to, you know, fire them all the time or use them. Once I got 21 to play with you, Kyle Seager, he mentioned just, hey, this one's along for the ride. Use your dominant one, take the knob to the ball. That was kind of his thing. And so, you know, I was at a point to my career where it was like, you know, let's try something. You know, I've had some solid years, but I felt like there was more in there in the tank. And so I decided just to experiment a little bit. And that was one of my best years, power numbers wise. And I never thought just like, hey, don't worry about this guy. Like, use your dominant hand and, you know, kind of direct it to the ball. So that was a big thing for me. Another one was when Seager talked about turning the plate. And 21, if this is my normal stance, I'm facing Woody, I'll be standing right here, normal. For lefties, and I switch hit up until 2017, and then Seattle, you know, thought the best thing was just stick to the left side. So I didn't really hit left on left. And so I had to figure out something that's gonna be comfortable for me and, you know, be able to produce. So Sieg was talking about just turning the plate. And so when he described it, it was like, once a lefty gets on the rubber and he's on the first base side, he's throwing now more at an angle. We do it, so we're about to do it right now, but we set up and we practice, you know, straight on, straight on, straight on. And when it comes to it, like in the game, the ball is actually not coming straight on. It's more of at an angle. Sieg was like, why don't you just get your bat plane to face his arm path. So lefty on the first base side of the rubber, he's kind of behind me. All right, I'm gonna open up a little bit, but also I'm gonna get closer to the plate. So if I open up, my strike zone awareness is not off. So as soon as I open up, I get closer to the plate maybe turn my back toe in a little bit. And now my bat path, I'm not changing my swing, I'm not manipulating my swing. My path is just following his arm path. And what I started to notice was, number one, I could see the ball better. Number two is not many foul balls or wondering why I'm getting jammed, seeing the breaking ball better. But basically it was just turning the plate from right here to like right here. Now, you know, you kind of just switching the fields a little bit. So that helped me a ton.
I feel like the more I feel it out now, nice swing.
You look good.
Thank you.
I mean, dude, that's great. Like, I always felt like you're such a pure hitter. Like, your positions are solid. Like, I always felt like each offseason I needed to make an adjustment. So I feel like there's a lot of power to everybody's chasing velo and watching video now that like feels really are everything. And don't just check the hit tracks every swing. Like, you need to feel it before you see what's going on.
You say making adjustments, making changes.
Donnie.
I feel like nobody at this level needs to change their swing. But
you
you
pick 'em
change
up.
positions that you're firing from.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Your swing is not going to change, but like feel versus real, like you might need an extreme feel to like make a small change.
Right.
You know?
A lot of people I've noticed watch the swing. Like they see their bat go through the zone and their first thought is, like my hands are falling, I'm letting my barrel drop, I'm rolling over.
Yes.
They're totally skipping past.
The pitch.
If I've been on time,
Well,
the
the
pitch, or
pitch
whatever.
being on time and what position they're in.
Yeah.
I don't think you even need to look at the rest of your swing, to be honest with you.
Just that right before entry.
Just that right before you go.
Luken's pure.
Yeah.
You don't need it, Luken.
You keep it simple.
Yes.
Like,
Which is great. Nice. But there's something about that like kind of patience for a second and then deliver.
Right.
Like if you turn on the engine too soon, your direction's that way.
and that was what I was dealing with.
Those already look a little flowier right there. Do it. That was the big thing for Donnie, was that feel of like, I mean, there's 5 things.
Because the load for me, it was like, I get tension. He goes, now do like, you know, a backswing, and it was like, and when I do my golf swing, it's a slow backswing. So I'm like, and then go. But it was
slow.
allowed me not to create that tension too early, like I said before.
Yeah. Our hitting coach said something this year. He said, go slow to be fast, go fast to be slow. I feel like that's general. Everyone hears that, but
Yeah.
I guess I hadn't heard it put so simple.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do it. Fixed. And that's why you're great. Little adjustment, no panic. How many kids roll over and they're like, oh, like the body language. I mean, y'all aren't around
How many
anymore.
times have you rolled over and been like, oh?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
Running down the
everybody.
line,
But
throwing your
less now
bat.
than it used to be. Dude, my big thing was like when I would always, minor leagues, you sign with a new team every year. Like I always hated that because I'd show up, spring training, like, okay, there's Bogey, there's, you know, here's some big time dudes, and I look like ass in the cage. I would get embarrassed. I'd get nervous. It got to a point, honestly, posting on social media has helped me where I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like just click, like literally no one cares, you know? But that was something
needs
that
to,
I wish I
that
would
needs to
think
be
sooner.
told to every kid.
It
It's
helps.
just stop. Nobody's really paying attention to you that much.
Exactly.
It helped me so much to just watch other guys hit.
Yeah.
You're worried about you hitting, and then you get over there and you sit on the bench and you're waiting and you're doing all this stuff. And the guy's done with it, oh, okay, I'll go. And you didn't watch him just go like that 7 times.
Yeah, these guys aren't able to see y'all. You had a ground ball to the pull side, you know?
Yeah.
All they see is Luken and Homer. So it's cool to see y'all in full length in the cage because we've had access to that, but other kids might not ever get to. My name's Jansen Whitty. Give me a follow on Instagram at Jansen Whitty. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X, all of them at Jansen Whitty. See y'all next time.